What's good, everybody?
What's good, everybody?
Welcome to another edition of
Ringside.
I'm John.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a very special episode because it is...
our 50th... Oh, sorry. Did you want me to play the clip? I didn't know if we were doing that.
Roll the clip.
Okay.
It's iCarly's 50th web show, Spectacular!
So that's a very niche iCarly season 1 reference. And it's been stuck in my head all week.
For this momentous occasion. Now, okay, so little truth time. And I don't know if you knew this, Kendra. I do think that technically...
Oh, no. Don't tell me this is our 51st.
No.
Yeah,
I do think technically we've had episodes... We've done podcast episodes before, but it wasn't before we really dedicated it as a podcast. It was like when we used to do live streams.
Yeah.
And back in our live streaming era where we had pretty much everything on Twitch.
Yeah.
They were unnecessarily long.
Yeah.
And they were called... We either did deep dives, which were, focused on one thing, where we did immense tons of research only for like one or no people to show up in our Twitch streams.
I remember.
Or we did something called shallow dip, which was kind of sort of the groundwork of what we do now, just in a live stream format, and about a bunch of different things.
Yeah. But that doesn't count.
Yeah.
This isn't the 50th anniversary or the 50th anniversary. Oh my God. We're fucking old. Yeah. This isn't the 50th thing we've done, video we've put out. This is the 50th episode of specifically Ringside.
Right.
And welcome to the celebration, guys.
Exactly. And so we thought it would be fun to just focus on this journey to 50 episodes because, hey, y'all, I don't know if you know this. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to do a podcast and to be really mindful about it. I know it might not seem that way because there's 1,000,001 podcasts out there, but when you're doing everything yourself, a lot goes into it.
Yeah, we've definitely had to do a lot of like learning because I didn't know anything about like streaming, webcams, software, like microphones. I just got a good mic a couple months ago. Like, right. It's all so new territory, and it's been like us and Google figuring it out together.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to go back and see how far we've come, like quality wise, and also how much more comfortable we are. Because it's been how many years has it taken us to get to 50 episodes?
Yeah, I mean, between just the different iterations of what we've done, I mean, we started doing this in 2021?
I was thinking COVID time, 2020, 2021. So it's been like multiple years. So as we've been doing this and getting better at this and changing this up as we go along, like we've also grown in 4 years. We got so much has changed like in our lives personally. And it's really cool to be able to go back and see like different eras of ourselves. That's one of the reasons why I like creating content so much. Because as you know, I have a terrible, terrible memory. And like, I simply would forget so much stuff if it wasn't recorded, if we weren't talking about it. So it's really cool to be able to go back and look at how far we've come. And we've still got a ways to go. It's not saying that like, okay, we've perfected it. No, I know that there's still so much to learn and do and explore, but yeah.
And it's also been like an investment of sorts. I mean, you mentioned getting a new microphone. So a lot of the stuff, it's like being strategic. Like it's, okay, maybe I'll ask for this for like a Christmas present from, family members.
This is my birthday present.
Or birthday present, something like that. Or sometimes just like waiting for, well, if you're me, if there's a particularly good gig you land, maybe you use some of that toward buying lighting or a new microphone or a microphone stand, or an arm, right? So like a lot of it is not just an investment of time, but a monetary investment to make sure we have the equipment to get closer and closer to that like perfect aesthetic and sound that we really want. Because even from the beginning, like we had big ideas and aspirations for what the podcast or anything we did would look and sound like. And sometimes we knew it was just as simple as like knowing, okay, I want it to look different or sound different than what we have right now. Can't do that, but we still have to do the thing. Like, you know, you got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So it is cool. And it is cool to go back and look at, like you mentioned, different eras, seeing what our aesthetic looked like for the channel, for the podcast, also where we lived.
Yeah, that has changed.
There's a lot of videos, old episodes where I'm like 20 and 30 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. So yeah, we figured this would be a good episode in case this is someone's very first time jumping in, to learn more about us, learn more about Perez Periódico, Ringside, and, you know, anything else we do and we have going on. Just so that, I don't know, it just feels like not midway, but like midway to 100 episodes feels like a good moment to just stop and reflect a little bit and use it as a sort of new get to know me, because even our very first episodes we never really did that, like hey, here's who I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say every Ringside we kind of just jump into what we're talking about that week, and we might comment on things that are happening like in our lives or current events or stuff as it comes along. But I feel like no one's ever, but like I feel like we haven't really done like a proper like, this is who I am, this is what I'm interested in. Yeah. This is what led me to be the person I am today and all this stuff. Yeah. So I think it could be interesting. Maybe it's a little bit what's it called when people have unhealthy attachments to people they don't know on the internet?
Like a parasocial.
Yeah, maybe it's a little parasocial of me to assume that people would want to know that stuff. But I don't know. I think it helps you get a full picture of who we are, why we are the way we are, and why we like the things we like. Because there's a lot of like history and stuff between what we like and how we got into it and stuff like that. Yeah. So could be interesting to learn.
I completely agree. So I think we'd start with the sort of get to know me section of this episode.
The about me section.
The about me section of this episode. Yes. My bio. No. So yeah, I mean, I mentioned, you see it in the name of the podcast. I mentioned it at the beginning. I'm John Perez. And outside of this little box you see me in right here, I am a theater artist and an educator. So I do professional regional theater in the area. I've been doing that for the last few years. I've also been an educator for the last few years. So it certainly is a grind, you know. I am constantly trying to, if the getting's good, I'm constantly trying to book gigs around the area and just keep that constant work going, which is why sometimes if I'm fortunate enough to book something, there are those particular weeks or months that
we're light.
It slows down a little bit because I'm busy, you know, and that's a good problem for me. But it does sometimes, you know, when you're working a full time, or in this case right now, even a hectic part-time job, sometimes something's got to be sacrificed for a little while, and because this is our thing, like I don't feel like I do feel bad when I don't do something for a long time, but you know, so anyway, I digress. So that's a little bit about what I do outside of podcasting, but getting into it, I mean, we mentioned this, I think on our last episode, we had a question that was about how did we get into content creating, and just a sort of a short recap on that. During the COVID times, the lockdown, theaters were closed. So I had just graduated from college not too long before, and I was in the middle of a professional apprenticeship when the world shut down, and I just needed a creative outlet. Even as I, you know, finished up that program, like completed that program, the world was still shut down. Theaters were not open. So I was not booking any sort of work. I was working a part-time job as an essential worker at Target. And yeah, I just needed a creative outlet, and I already enjoyed talking about movies and pop culture and music and theater and stuff. So I figured, like, why not? Everyone else is going online. Why not do that myself? And then, yeah, it just sort of snowballed into where we're at today. It did start as an idea, like, Perez Periódico started as an idea to sort of give people, who weren't welcomed or not always, or sometimes ignored, overlooked in these internet communities, based on, marginalized groups, essentially. Every time we saw content or saw people talking about these things, generally speaking, of course not, and this isn't, not everyone was like an awful person, but generally is a predominantly white space, white male space. So the idea was to kind of create our own lane in which we can talk about the things we enjoy, minus all the toxicity or the enabling of toxicity. And yeah, that's a little bit about what we do here. And we just have a ton of interest, too many to simply keep to ourselves.
Yeah. It's almost like those interests are even expanding and need their own dedicated spaces to live into, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like John said, I want to piggyback off some of the stuff that you mentioned before I talk about myself. But also through starting to create content that we wanted to see, we started seeing more people who look like us making the same or similar content. So I also think that is something really cool that happened along the way. And a lot of those people, not a lot, but like a few of those people, we like talk. You guys interact, not so much me. I will also say, John said that this was like a joint venture, and it is for the most part. John is doing the lion's share of the work on this. So I don't want it to get twisted like I'm doing halvesies. It's mostly John. I'm not a Perez. It's his name on it. It's mostly him. I don't want to take credit away from him.
Yeah, but also you're like the video producer. You're doing all the live stream stuff, and you're doing the taking care of this.
That's true, but this
backstage
is easy
stuff
compared to editing, which I hate doing and I don't do. So
well, that goes back to your. I think that's why we don't see as much of Kendra's Corner, the gameplays.
Yes. So not at the start, but kind of more into the middle of Perez Periódico as we know it today. I started doing gaming content, which is so fun because I'm not particularly good at games. So I would do like mobile, like episode, if you know episode, like mobile storytelling games where you could like create a character and choose your own adventure kind of stuff. That was so much fun, but I hated editing it. I loved the finished product of like an edited video, and I hated editing it. So when we moved, I lost the game file for the game that I was playing, which was Dream Daddy.
Damn.
Which was a good one.
I was a character in it too.
John was the main character in it. I made it to look like him, and he was dating the dads. But after that, I was just like, you know what? Nah. I can't put that much time into it anymore.
Right.
And it was a good few years, but I've recently started getting back into the gaming content by playing Dress to Impress. Dress to Impress brought Kendra's Corner back to life. I think I've only streamed it once. But anyway. But yeah, so that was kind of my contribution in the beginning. If you want to watch some old Kendra's Corner episodes, they're all on YouTube. I played through quite a few stories, if you're interested. As for me, I'm not as exciting as John. I didn't go to sing and dance school. I went to bone school. I went to school for anthropology, focused on physical anthropology, and then did nothing with that. Instead, I did a corporate job. So I'm in corporate America. That's all I'm going to say on that. My hands look like this, so his hands can look like that. But yeah, about me. Yeah, I just kind of, I was a theater kid in a different sense. I think we talked about this recently. I was like a tech theater kid. So I was behind the scenes.
I was out in front under the lights.
John was screaming on the stage. But it didn't always start that way. That was like a high school thing. I just got super anxious and stage fright-y. But before that, I danced pretty much most of my childhood. Yes, I did tap. Okay. Yes.
Don't get it twisted.
Not all Black people do tap, but I did tap. And I did ballet. I did every kind of sport you can imagine. John knows the stories. So there was always this desire in me to kind of perform. And I found a way to do that that is not scary to me because I'm in front of a camera and not in front of people. People do frighten me. And I think you can, if you go back and look, you can tell throughout doing Perez Periodico, my comfort with speaking has gotten so much better. And I'm better at it. I don't say all the time. I don't say like. I do, but a lot less than I used to. But yeah, so I feel like it's been so fun to be able to connect more, not just with you guys, with our interests, but also with each other. Because like wrestling, I didn't grow up watching wrestling. I was introduced to wrestling through John. Disney, John wasn't so much of a Disney adult. And I'm told that I unlocked that in him.
It was dormant.
It was dormant. So it's just been really fun to have something that we can work towards together. Now I'm going to say all the time. But because like we don't, our circles don't really cross that. I mean, we spend every waking moment together, but our circles don't really cross like that with like our careers and stuff. So it's nice to be able to carve out time and talk through stuff and have this. This is basically our child. We have the two cats, and then we have this, and that's what we put our love and care into. Yeah,
and it's cool because, like you said, I mean, I think it's a lot more collaborative than you think it is, I guess. But what's really cool is that I'm gonna go back to something you said before. Yeah, you know, I go back to the idea of why we started this channel and why we started this platform, and you know. Yeah, it was about these different types of voices that we wanted to hear from because we weren't seeing that. And in a weird sort of way, in this moment of reflecting, like, we've cultivated a community, small as it may be.
Yeah.
Like, there are people, like, on TikTok or other socials that I'm pretty much talking to every single day. They DM me. And it's usually about our similar interests, you know, like, oh, did you see SmackDown? Or did you see this? Or, hey, did you hear about this Parks thing? Like multiple times a week, if not every single day. And some of them are fellow content creators. Some of them are just people who follow us. And it's cool. It's for the most part, it's just really lovely banter. And it's cool because sometimes you get down if there's like, you know, maybe not a lot of streams on the podcast or maybe not a lot of views on the videos, but those small connections that you make, it really kind of puts in perspective like, oh, we're doing something that people are vibing with in a really positive way. Yeah. And that's been really, really cool to experience just because I don't know, again, because I'm looking at the analytics and I'm looking at, you know, trying to create the content. What do I think people are going to respond to? How do I get this information out there? Will anyone see it? Will anyone care? Will anyone like it? You know, you do ask yourself all these questions. And you know, I do the majority, pretty much exclusively the posting and distribution of all this content. So yeah, I can't help but get into that sometimes. And sometimes there is that feeling of, you know, defeat if something's not, you know, going the way you thought it would or going the way you'd hoped. But yeah, and seeing that and seeing again, I talk to people every single day who I've met through doing content. I've gotten to collaborate with other people, which has been really fun. Got some exciting stuff, ideas percolating there as well. And even I was making a video today to just sort of like promote this episode, but also just kind of not explain, but like tell people about what else we do here. And I didn't realize this with the addition of our newest stream that will be starting as of this recording. It'll have just happened yesterday. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. It'll happen on Sunday. We're recording this on a Saturday. That will be 4 different shows that 3 for you, 4 for me that I'm working on, because we have this show Ringside. I've got John/John. We've got pre-preview, and then we're adding Perez in the Parks. So it's like, it's really cool to think, man, we really set out to do something, and we've been doing everything so long that now we're actually doing it. It's like, it's kind of weird to think about.
It's also like, this is why people say, like, you can't get into something like this purely like, I'm going to do this for money. I'm going to do this to be known. We have been doing this for 4 years.
Right.
With none of that. Just the love of the game.
Right.
And that's why we're still doing it, because we like to do it.
Right.
Yeah, if we had done this just for money, girl, we would have fizzled out 6 months in.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, like, if I can stream something and I know Taekwon will be there because he's always there. If one person is watching, that's so much more than the 0 that we're watching at the beginning. Right. That's a 100% increase. I am so happy with that. Yeah.
And I saw someone online once kind of put this into perspective, and I'm like, that's interesting to think about. They were like, we hear a lot about especially on TikTok, the 200, 300 view jail, quote unquote jail, right? And they're like, imagine you were doing a 1-person show and 200 people showed up. Would you still think that was a failure?
Yeah.
I was like, huh, interesting. You might not get all 200 people to like your show.
Yeah.
But if that's 200 people that were aware, that saw something you did, like, don't think of that as a failure.
Yeah.
So that kind of also helped put stuff into perspective for me. But yeah, anyway, so that's a little bit about us. And, we mentioned that we have been reflecting during this wonderful episode. You had I see your fingers on that button.
It's 50th Web Show Spectacular.
Okay, I didn't think you were gonna do it right while I was speaking. Oh. Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna do it.
Anyway, speaking of reflecting, John, would you like to maybe take a walk down memory lane and revisit for the first time? Call back. Some of our eras of Perez Periodico.
Yes, we've compiled a few different clips here that we want to get into for different reasons. But yeah, I think this is a good way to show the progression of what we do here.
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch the first clip.
It's our original theme song.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our very first deep dive. We're talking Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. To my left is my wonderful guest. Let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Kendra.
One microphone.
Can't hear me at all.
So that's it.
Yep. Platonic. Just a strictly professional, platonic
relationship.
Horrible quality.
Yep.
I'm his girlfriend. Kendra, hi.
Okay, so
that's actually why I'm wearing this shirt, is because that was our very first live stream we ever did. It was a deep dive on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and yeah, John mentioned one microphone. That was the microphone that started it all. I got that microphone for free at a yard sale somewhere in Tampa. We're big yard sale people, me and my mom and my sister. And the woman was like, I don't even know if it works, so you can just take it. And I took it, and it worked. However the fuck we set it up. I don't know what we did. I don't think we adjusted the settings right. You couldn't hear me at all.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
But yeah, you saw it was janky quality.
One camera, one microphone. And we were next to each other.
We were sitting next to each other. I think at the time I had a little keyboard, like an electric keyboard.
We had to move your keyboard.
Yeah.
Because this was not our first apartment together. This was our second apartment together. And it was maybe 550 square feet, one bedroom. So we were in the living room / dining room / my office because we had our desks set up in like a corner. And then, we were like sitting like this. So you saw behind us, like, I don't even know if the bedroom door was open, but we were, it was so cramped in there and so dark. Like we couldn't paint or anything. Blech.
I was also, that's a clip of me where I'm like 30 pounds heavier there.
What's so funny is John was 30 pounds heavier and I was 30 pounds lighter in that clip.
Shut up.
I was genuinely. Yeah, a lot of health issues between then and now.
Yeah.
For me, John's been killing it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of personal family things that led into reflecting on my lifestyle that I was like,
that's
hey, maybe I shouldn't. But that was another thing that happened that it's kind of cool to see progress is that I did start a sort of a health journey, fitness journey into a couple years into this, and so it is interesting to see like old videos where I'm like a little more chunky than I am now. Now I'm a kind of chunky, kind of hunky.
Oh. Some of us thought you were always hunky.
Thanks, baby. Yeah.
You're welcome. Also, finally putting to rest the long debated. I didn't realize I was still making the platonic roommate joke back then, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But John and I are dating. We're not roommates. We're not just friends, and we're not related.
Yeah.
Stop saying that.
Who said that?
No, I don't think anyone.
Oh, okay. Like, don't start that rumor.
Thinking it. We're not related. People did ask, I think, when we started dating. Oh, maybe we should mention this. So John and I started dating in 2016. We met in 2015.
Yeah.
Started dating in 2016.
Then you couldn't get rid of me.
Yes. So we thought for the longest time that this year was our 10th anniversary. No, 9th anniversary. I simply can't count. Anyway, so next year will be our 10th anniversary.
I went to sing and dance college, so I don't know math.
he didn't learn math at
I know a 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it.
But yeah, so we met in college. We were both in college. And then I graduated a year before you.
Yeah.
And so after you came to live in my family's house over the summer before your last semester.
Mm-hmm.
And then during that summer is when we moved out into our first apartment and we got Bustelo. That was 2018. And then we got Keo in 2020. I think it was the beginning of 2020 before things happened.
Yeah, before it got real crazy out there.
Yeah. We moved the beginning of 2020 into our second apartment. And we took Keo from outside and brought him with us for the move. And then he's been inside ever since. So a little bit of backstory on our family, the fact that we are dating. We're not just platonic roommates.
Yeah, you've been making that, but it's kayfabe now.
Yeah.
That we're not actually in the same room. So
yeah, which I don't quite understand where that came from, but we are also in the same room.
It's as of this episode we're in the same room, but moving forward we're no longer in the same room. So anytime you see me walk by,
it's a new change. John's just going to be in a different room. I don't even know how to facilitate that. Listen.
One time I directed a Zoom reading of a play where my good friend John, who I co-host John/John with, he and his amazing fiance, both wonderful actors as well, they were both in this reading, and because it was a Zoom reading, they were in different rooms, but in the play they were like, these two characters were having an affair. So I had him leave his office to run to where she is so that they could actually like embrace and a kiss.
I remember that. That was hilarious.
One of my favorite bits.
So good.
I'd see if I could fish that out somewhere, see if I could use it. Anyway, but yeah, so that was our very earliest iteration of what would become Ringside. So
that was a deep dive.
That was deep dive back in our deep dive days. Now let's take a look at a shallow dip. I think this also might be another deep dive actually, but that's okay.
We'll find out.
Oh, the pause screen.
Hello, this was a deep dive.
Hello.
I'm making pizza for dinner tonight. And I made the dough ahead of time, to be productive. And it has exploded out of its little plastic wrap container twice now. So, but we ate some of the dough.
I didn't know you were going to tell people all that.
And it was really good. And now my hands smell good.
Oh my God. So I went through, okay, this is how you can tell it was the fucking pandemic, because I went through a making my own dough phase, and I made pizza dough, like the same pizza dough, probably like once a week for a month.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
And I would eat the raw dough.
Okay, maybe we don't do that.
I frequently eat raw dough. I wouldn't recommend doing it. You could probably get really sick doing that.
Yeah, you know what my thing is,
It's
and
so good.
I did do this yesterday when I meant to make muffins and I couldn't find our muffin tin, so I made it into a muffin cake. It's delicious, but
And he came, hold on, sorry, because he came in and he said, we must have gotten rid of the muffin tin. Girl, no, we didn't. It's in the cabinet above the refrigerator. I know exactly where it is. And he was
Couldn't
like, oh,
find
I
it.
looked, but not very well. At least you caught yourself.
yeah.
You didn't even ask me.
No, because I wanted to surprise you. Anyway,
Oh, thank you.
but as I was making that, once I got done pouring the batter into the pan, I did lick the spoon,
Yeah, you do that.
and it does have raw egg in there.
Yeah.
Protein.
Oh, and I did know someone who got salmonella, made her really sick.
Oh,
But
grow up.
she got it from touching turtles.
From what?
She would touch she had pet turtles and touch
Oh.
the turtles, and then
Yeah, that's probably more.
so I think that's how she got it. But like,
Hey, well, listen, turtles
I
are
wouldn't fuck
pretty cute.
around with it. Apparently, everything we eat now has some kind of outbreak going on. So
Yeah, but anyway, what I love about that clip, one, it's another deep dive. You're right. The fucking pause screen. The pause screen was so cute.
My thing is like, why would we? Okay, so we paused so I could go rotate the dough. Why couldn't we figure out that scheduling in a different way? Like,
Yeah.
why did we need to pause? What was a live stream?
It was a live stream. We also probably took a break there because again, those live streams were,
They were very
fucking long.
They were so long. And if you saw, I was giving a PowerPoint presentation on the inspiration for Black Panther.
There's another clip from
There
the
is
same.
another clip from this one if you want to.
But I love that we have a different setup. We did upgrade our set. We got a second microphone. Not very much to brag about when it comes to lighting. Our lighting's insane.
Yeah.
Um,
we were doing the best with what we could.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we can.
Let me make sure. Okay.
Oh
I want
my
to make
God,
sure
you're
that this
crazy.
actually plays. Okay, let's see.
Let's take a look.
And then the costuming. Okay, so the production design was done by Hannah Beechler, and the costumes were done by Ruth E. Carter. No relation, maybe.
We
Ruth
don't
hit
know.
me up. My grandma's name was Ruth.
Ruth,
Ruth. Are we related?
we got some questions.
I don't think we're related. But
Yeah, that was me giving I just made a PowerPoint and then I was just giving a PowerPoint presentation. I think about that deep dive all the time.
It was it was impressive.
It was fucking boring. It was boring. It was a snooze fest. Why did I do that? I didn't know any better.
No, listen. I think the intention was to be super informative because there's a lot of information that is really cool in that presentation that you
There
gave.
is.
But I understand what you mean.
But why did I do it in such a way?
And the aesthetic was so interesting because obviously we had the rip off of the Marvel Studios logo.
Oh yeah.
And then we had this is actually something interesting that carried over into even what we have now is that there's always been this attempt at like a sort of comic book inspired look to what we have. So there was much more, we had the graffiti, like the ink splotches, and we had the drawn things I think you made
I
on
might
your own.
have. Oh yeah, I bought
Not-
one of the things that we like kind of invested in was I bought myself an iPad.
Yeah.
It's right here. So I could draw. I handmade all of the Kendra's Corner everything.
Yeah.
Which if you remember or go back and look at, like, it was pretty detailed. I was pretty proud of myself. And yeah, I had to learn, like, for Kendra's Corner specifically, how to animate stuff in Procreate. And yeah, I think I drew some of our earlier stuff. So
Yeah.
again, I had to invest in something.
Yeah.
I just wanted an excuse to have an iPad. And then I had to teach myself how to use Procreate and teach myself how to animate in there and teach myself how to download it and put it into OBS at the time.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what we were using.
So, oh my gosh, so
But
many
yeah, it was
steps.
It was, I mean, clearly, like, we were finding a little bit of a rhythm, but we were still very much like, okay, how do we had no idea of how to, like, streamline instead of just live stream.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
And also how to like present information in a way that's interesting.
Yeah.
And not fucking boring.
Not just but again, we were figuring it out. But yeah, it was just. But you could sort of see even some of the color palette is for the most part the same.
Yeah.
Like, we still have the red and black and white. We add some blue in there, and we have like now the comic book, like the sort of Ditko Dot inspired background. So it is funny that inspiration never left.
Yeah. It's simply too good.
It's simply
like
too
you could
good.
put anything. This goes with everything.
Yeah.
Anything we talk about, it matches. So it's funny though, we have this like very comic book inspired visual, and then the name of the podcast is Ringside, which is so wrestling.
Yeah. And speaking of, so when we decided to, this is the most insane aesthetic change we had. This next clip is going to show you the most insane aesthetic change we had ever gone through. So we decided to step away from strictly live streaming everything and go into like more traditional podcasting. But when we did that, we were audio only, but we still had the YouTube channel. So we're like, well, let's throw everything on YouTube and just put a video playing in the background. And I will say this is probably the laziest of the aesthetics we've ever had, because I think I just took a basic something from Canva and rolled with it.
I think you're right.
But you'll hear that we changed our music. We changed the Perez periodical logo from the Marvel Studios inspired one. So let's take a look. I'll let you.
Okay.
Good old faithful.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Hello, everybody.
What's good, everybody? Yeah, out here.
Yeah.
Adrenaline in my soul. Something.
Cody Road.
Yeah. I was getting ready. Like, I had one leg off. I was getting ready to just abandon ship and let the fucking snowmobile go over the cliff. So I was telling a story.
Luckily, those snowmobiles are real.
Yeah, that was our Michigan trip you were talking about.
Yeah, we were. I think that was from our episode, a very Royal Rumble family vacation or something like that. Some weird episode name.
That reminds me, our episode names, I feel like, have always been pretty good.
Yeah.
We try to pull stuff that happened. But I will say my favorite episode name of all time, something we still reference today, is Dwayne "The Rock" John's dad. That's so funny.
Yeah, that one didn't catch on as much as I had hoped.
Guys, we gotta make some noise for Dwayne "The Rock" John's dad.
That will be from that's the next clip is from that episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, before we get there though, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking when it came to. I knew I wanted a new look, but I didn't know quite what to do yet.
It's very Tron.
It's very Tron. It's very gamer. It's very like just not us. But I figured, I think the idea of that at the time was, if we do something completely different, it'll sort of revitalize interest in what we do. And whether it did that or not, I don't know. But there, you can even sort of hear we're starting to really get closer to what we do now. And I was very excited that episode. I don't know. My voice is so high pitched in that episode.
I will also say that it sounds like our microphone situation is a lot better in that one than the previous clips.
I think in that case, yes, you'll see. Man.
Yeah.
So a big for anyone who's been listening for a little bit, like we're four-ish years in, and our microphone situation is only just now this year.
Yeah.
Getting pretty consistently good.
We had a lot of echoing issues, like on and off for years.
Yeah, and it was the bane of my. There would be episodes that we would get done recording, and I'm like, oh man, that felt awesome. Like I feel like we found our stride. This is it. And I go back and listen, and it would just be this horrible echo. And sometimes I'd go in and put a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode, just like, hey, you guys, we ran into some audio issues.
There might have even been episodes that didn't get released because
I think there
of
was
the
maybe
echo.
one or two that we just didn't do because it was just too bad, and we couldn't do anything with it. So that seemed like that was okay, but even after that, like we had it was a constant battle up until very, very recently. But yeah, I think the idea there was to just get new life into it, but it started to sound more and more like what we do now, even just starting to incorporate more like personal anecdotes and things that we're up to in our day-to-day lives, and not just kind of attempting to be a pop culture news outlet.
Yeah.
Which, it's we still discuss that stuff very much so. But
something that I think maybe I was a little bit more hesitant on in the beginning was trying to be a news source.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed, especially because it was mostly on you.
Yeah.
And you would be pushing out stuff like TikTok, like short form stuff a lot as stuff was happening and coming out.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want it to be like, we always have to try to be the first person to break this news, because that's fine and dandy if like that's what you want to do, or you have the time and the resources to like constantly be on the lookout and constantly available to record something at the drop of the hat. Like Aaron Parnas. I didn't want to be the Aaron Parnas of pop culture news, because that's just so stressful.
It's exhausting
to like box yourself into that. And I think it came to a point where we had to sit down and be like, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We can't, the focus can't be on breaking news all the time.
Breaking news.
It has to be more, we have to be okay with not being the first people to break news. We can talk about it and that's fine. But yeah, that was kind of like we have to think of our mental well-being and our availability to like put time into this.
And for me, it also became an idea of like, I have a really bad habit of, I'll just call it out for what it is, recency bias. And so sometimes we would do fresh out of the theater reviews on things. And, if I didn't immediately hate it, my brain was like, oh, you loved it. Go ahead and talk about it.
It was really, really good.
It was really, really good.
That's John's whole thing.
So I know I need like a neon sign or I need a
really,
sign.
really good.
Yeah. But, and then, we'd publish this episode, a week or two would go by and I'm like, man, that thing wasn't really as good as I thought it was. So
it also happens inverted though, where something's ass and then you think about it for a week or two and you're like, it wasn't that bad. That's what I think about the Eternals. Eternals wasn't that bad, guys. I didn't think it was that bad at the beginning, and I've only grown to love it more.
Right. So, really focusing on, okay, what can we do to best give our opinion in a way, like on things we want to talk about, in a way that's not just like pretending to be something we're not. And I do think we've gotten much, much better at that. But in this last clip we have here is from that episode Kendra referenced. It's called Dwayne "The Rock" Johnstad.
Such a good title.
So this is a clip where it's pretty much what you see. And it's not, I'll give you guys a warning. It's not a very particularly funny clip, but you'll see how our conversation has kind of grown and developed over the last few years.
Yeah.
Is not expected to return and do the music. They instead have the team from the unofficial Bridgerton musical. And they might have been doing the music for the series as well. Like,
that would make sense to me.
Now, there is a little bit of precedent set for them turning a smaller project into a feature film. They've done that a few times, but the biggest example I can think of, the most famous example, is for Toy Story 2.
Which is better than Toy Story 1.
Yeah. Back in around the time when Toy Story 2 was being developed, there was that big direct-to-video sequel Disney boom, right?
Yeah.
Two things stand out to me. One is that
were we echoing?
We were echoing. Yeah. That's a moment where, again, I really like the episode overall, but man, like, I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, but when I hear that, I'm like, I don't want to fucking listen to it.
No, the echo's annoying. I get it.
But also, and this is a sort of peek behind the curtain here, I can definitely see myself stifling my lip a little bit, because at the time, I had, and it's really hard for me to go back and watch some of my older TikToks, even some that had gone like kind of semi-viral for our standard, and some older episodes where we had kind of the setup, because I had a cavity right between my two front teeth, and at a certain point that cavity had gotten pretty big. And I was really embarrassed by it, but then for some reason I was still like, hey, let's do a video podcast. But I could see myself sort of like
covering
trying to hide. So it is a little, but I've since then gotten my teeth taken care of.
You've gotten dental insurance.
I had dental insurance for a hot minute there.
Yeah.
And because it's crazy expensive to just get. Anyway, we're not. That's all. That's for a different podcast. But yeah, it was but it's been cool to see, like, again, even with, you know, a life event like that happening, just how much more comfortable I am doing stuff, and even putting out more different types of short form content because I don't have to worry about, you know, hiding my smile or my smile line, right? But yeah, but that's cool to see, like, just going through these clips, it's cool to see like where we started and where we're at now. Because it's, you know, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I agree. And you've had struggles with like your physical appearance and not liking it. I've had the same thing. I think that's why we had not had to. I think that's why we started doing more no video, like
audio only
podcasts, is because I've always had really, really bad skin. And there was a period where it got so bad, like, think about it every day, don't want anyone to look at me, don't want to leave the house, bad. And it's still not great, but I'm definitely I'm in a better place with it. But I think that's one of the reasons, like, I just didn't want to film. I didn't want to be on camera because my skin was so bad all the time. And like, you can cover it up to an extent.
Right.
But like, even right now I'm wearing makeup, but I can still tell. It's just, it's not as bad as it used to be. But yeah, so like going through stuff like that, and yeah, it can be hard sometimes to like put your face and your voice on camera for anyone to look at and comment on.
Right.
I don't think I don't look at the comments, but I don't think we've gotten like anything super bad. But it is scary, and
well, I have about me, but
yeah,
that's a whole other thing.
That's why I don't look, because I don't want to see anything. But I think it's, again, just more proof to how much we enjoy doing this, because we're doing it like even when we feel shitty about ourselves, we're still getting on camera and still doing it.
Right.
And then you go back and you look back, and like looking back at all these clips, I'm like, my skin looked fine. My skin looked okay. It was just so much worse in my head.
Right.
Which is kind of nice to realize as you look back. But yeah, we've gone through some peaks and valleys throughout these 4 years.
And it's cool. Like, I don't know. I think of the people, I had friends I know in my very real life, not like outside of the internet, who also started, you know, whether it's their own podcasts or their own YouTube channels or things like that. And it's at the same time during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. Again, because being a theater professional, I know a lot of other theater folks, creative folks, artists who also needed that outlet.
Yeah.
And this is no tea, no shade to anyone, but I see how many of them stop doing it, even in the midst of their, you know, whether it's because they started working again, they were just doing it for fun, who knows, like, I don't know, but I do see a lot of people who started to do it and then backed off of it. And, you know, it didn't always have to do with pop culture. I saw people start like true crime or just lifestyle, things like that, like different niches, and they backed off of it. And again, it's because it is a lot of work when you consider it's not just getting on a microphone and recording. It's the editing process. It's, you know, trying to market it without spending any of your own money.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do have to spend your own money, but I don't. I've paid for a couple TikTok promotes, but that's about it. Haven't done that in a couple years. But yeah, I mean, that's part of it. And it is a lot of work. And so if you're not in it for the love of the game, like you mentioned,
it's not going to work out.
It's not going to work out. It's not going to be any fun. And we've had those moments where it was like, it doesn't feel like fun to do it, so let's not do it. And that's the important part, is to know when to like step away from it. So like you mentioned with, you know, the gaming content, if it's not fun,
it got to be a bit too much.
Yeah. And if and when you feel like you want to do it again, I think now we have the resources, the equipment to make it a much more enjoyable experience than it was. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we still have tons of ideas of things we want to do moving forward. in these next 50 episodes. You know what I would love in these next 50 episodes? I'd love to get maybe one. I'd love to do a commercial for something. I want people to, you know, whether it's a sponsor or something, I don't know. But like, hey, as much as I do it for the love of the game, it would be nice to maybe make a little profit here and there.
Yeah. Personally, not so much in the next 50 episodes, but in the next 4 years, I would like a house with my own driveway. We have a shared parking situation currently.
Oh my god.
That's another thing we didn't mention before, but like from the beginning to now, we bought a house together.
Yeah.
And moved. That's pretty impressive.
It would have been nice if the podcast paid for it, but
would have been nice, but no, unfortunately not. But we're in like, we have a shared parking lot, and some idiot,
some maroon,
I watched park his car more than a week ago in our right in front of our building, got out and got into an Uber and went to the airport. Got out with suitcases. What the fuck? And he's been there ever since. Anyway, so personally, I would like in the next 4 years, I would like in 50 episodes for a new background, because we're in a house with a driveway and a garage.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what I want. And maybe also a sponsor to help pay for that house and garage.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would, but no, like there's things we want to do. We're finally going full steam ahead. So we have a new live stream series that we're going to be doing. It's called Perez in the Parks. And this is sort of Kendra's baby, honestly.
I'll accept that responsibility.
I mean, it was kind of your idea, like,
and I named it.
And you did name it. So
can I talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, please.
Can you edit it, John? Editing. Can you please add in the
graphics,
the graphic Perez in the Parks? Thank you. So I feel like we get to talk so much on Ringside about a lot of the stuff we like, mostly movies, TV shows, pop culture, wrestling. You know, I always feel like there's been this barrier where it didn't feel appropriate to talk about the Disney parks or theme parks, I guess, in general. But that's such a huge part of our lives. And yeah, basically we wanted a forum to talk about, sorry, I hit my desk, specifically the Disney theme parks, and maybe more theme parks as we go along, but we're just like, we're subject matter experts at Disney now.
Right.
That didn't feel like it was encroaching on Ringside. I feel like there's enough to talk about to have it have its own space.
Yeah.
So we thought up the concept of Perez in the Parks, where we can talk about Disney park news, talk about our experiences in the park, live stream in the park. We've done that before, just on the Perez Periodico TikTok account. I'd love to do more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we're not super close to the park, so we can't do that as much as we like.
Right.
So this is just a way for us to connect with our fellow Disney adults and talk about the parks. Because, like, we have 2 Disney adult friends.
Right.
And we have nobody to talk to. So we will be live streaming periodically as we go. As you're seeing this, we live streamed yesterday. But we have more things planned for that.
Yeah.
And it'll be really, really fun. And again, it'll be the same positive vibes only, like take like we have with Ringside and all of Perez Periodico. That's so important to us. No bummers, no shit talking. We're not going to complain.
Well, we might complain, but we're not. It's not going to be like, oh, I didn't like this thing, so the world is falling apart. Disney's flopping, or the parks are. It's not going to be that.
We're going to focus on the good,
right? Focus on the things we enjoy about the things we enjoy. That's always kind of been our philosophy here.
So yeah, I hope you guys like Perez in the Parks. I'm really excited to get started with it, and our graphics that we've done up for it are really good. They're really cute.
They are.
I'm excited.
That was really cool because we got to like really sit down together and like really work that out and like go through colors. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like a legit
business meeting.
Yeah, and like a
pitch meeting,
a process we were doing. And yeah, I'm excited about that because I'm excited, much like how Ringside kind of started as a live stream with the deep dives and the shallow dips and whatnot. We're going to live stream Disney in the Parks. And if it turns into its own thing entirely, that's cool too. Like it might, who knows, in the future, there could be again, maybe we start making some money off these things. Again, I know it's not about the money, but
It's not about
I'm
the
just
money,
saying,
it's not about the money. But it would be helpful.
If a dream for me, a dream case scenario for me would be that this was my full-time job.
Yeah.
Or at least enough of a part-time job where I could sustainably work this and like still gig around. Like that would be my dream scenario. Speaking into existence right now. But yeah, it might become, that might have been my chair.
I thought it was a cat. That Ringside, Perez Periodico Ringside can be your full-time job.
Right.
And Perez in the Parks can be my full-time job.
Right.
And then the house that we have with the driveway and the garage could be near the parks.
Right. Like,
my God.
Just kind of manifesting
Donald
things.
Trump, if you can hear me, Donald Trump,
Oh
please.
my God, stop. No. But yeah, no, it would be cool to do that because, if Perez in the Parks becomes its own podcast, its own YouTube channel, like still under the Perez Periodico banner, but like if that gets to be its own thing, that would be amazing, But I'm the type of person when I see other people doing what we do, especially people like we're fans of, like, and they're just crushing it and killing it. I'm not bitter. I'm not like upset. It drives me because I'm like, oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that too.
Yeah.
There's
room for all of us.
What's that?
I said there's room for all of us.
Exactly. And that's kind of the whole purpose of what we do here. And I think that's just a really good way of looking at what we do and just kind of a great way to cap off this 50th episode.
It's iCarly's 50th web show, Spectacular.
I can only use that for so long, guys. It's
That's
like
true.
only this episode I can use that on. So I'm milking it for all it's worth.
Anyway, I think that wraps up our 50th episode.
Yay!
I thought you were going to play it again.
Oh.
Yeah, that wraps up our...
Anyway, no, we don't have to play it again. But that wraps up our 50th web show Spectacular. We're really, at the end of the day, very grateful to everyone who watches and gets something out of it. I hope that we can bring you a little bit of joy.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for coming along on this ride with us, whether you've just hopped on the train or have been here like Taekwon since the beginning. I feel like we have to give him a shout out. He's our one true villain, and Taekwon are really our most loyal, dedicated fans. Ride or die.
As mean as they may be sometimes.
As mean as they may be to me particularly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been such a cool journey, and the last 4 years have been crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really special and really cool to be able to have this outlet where we get to talk with you guys and with each other about honestly whatever we want.
Yeah. Because we do it enough at home anyway, so we figure let's bring some of those conversations to you all.
I think, yeah, that's really like what we started with, was like someone else needs to listen to these conversations we're having.
Some great convos here.
We're busting out some good jokes every once in a while. Me more so than him, but
that is true. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're not already, please follow us on all the various social medias to be notified of whenever we have something going on. Like I said, we're doing Perez in the Parks will have just happened by the time you're listening to this, but you can go back and watch it probably on our YouTube channel. Yeah. As well as all of our other episodes of Ringside. You can listen to Ringside wherever you stream your podcasts. Like I said, we do our pre-preview WWE-centric live streams every single month prior to the PLEs that are happening. So if you want to hear us talk about the card, make predictions, and engage with you in the chat, make sure you're following us on Twitch as well as TikTok. That's where we do our streams at. And yeah, and just be thank you for being there.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for being a friend.
Yeah.
Travel down the road.
We're gonna get.
It's iCarly's 50th Web Show. Spectacular.
All right. Well, on that note, thank y'all, and we'll catch y'all for the next one.
Peace.
Peace.